Good morning, Alexus, Beauties, and Flawless Man. We are reading from our daily bread in Luke chapter 6, verses 35 through 36. But love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great, and ye shall be the children of the highest. For he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. Today, someone almost ran me over as I crossed the street. He was talking on the phone and didn't even look when he was turning. It was the single biggest challenge of my life to forgive and love the ignorant and the unrepentant. I feel humiliated and ashamed of how hard it is, but I know I'm not alone, God, because time and time again we read in your holy word about forgiveness and mercy. We must hear it over and over to remind ourselves consistently to keep you in our hearts and keep our hearts open. Going back up into the reading in Luke chapter 6, verses 35 to 36, but love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again. When you are wholeheartedly doing something, helping someone, loving someone, praying for someone, teaching someone, you do those things out of the kindness of your heart and not because you know that you're going to be rewarded. The Lord tells us for our good works, we will be blessed. But that should be the last thing from our minds. We should be doing things just because it's the right thing to do. So love your enemies because it's the right thing to do. And a lot of the times, these people have become your enemies because they don't have love. So we can't fight evil with evil. We can't, an eye for an eye. We can't do that. We can't live like that. We can't because we are righteous people. So don't worry about what you'll get. Don't worry about the good things that you'll have coming your way because you did this or you did that. Love your enemies and do good and lend, hoping for nothing again. And your reward shall be great when you don't focus on the actual reward that you will get for just being a good human. That's when your reward is greater. And ye shall be the children of the highest. That's when you are a child of God. Blessings is not always about finances. Blessings is not always about getting a good relationship. Blessings come in different ways. So when we don't focus on those blessings, that's when they are great. You may have done something really nice for someone, and if you were thinking like, man, I can't wait till this come back to me, then it probably will never come. But if you did something great for someone and you didn't think about it, you gave from the kindness of your heart, the Lord can multiply you. It could be in good health. It can be him magically paying your debt, like some just disappear. The Lord blesses us in different ways. I think a lot of times we just look forward towards money and relationship, but we have to be aware of the different ways that the Lord has to bless us. It could be a breakthrough. Your great reward could be a breakthrough. You getting an answer to a question that you've been asking in your heart for years. We shall be the children of the highest when we don't focus on the reward. That's when the reward is greater. For he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil. The Lord is still compassionate, whether you are good or bad. It's better to be good. That way you get the full goodness of God. But if you are evil, if you are unthankful, if you are ungrateful, if you are not kind-hearted, you still get blessed, but you have limited blessings. Be ye therefore merciful, as your Father also is merciful. When we talk about the fruit of the Spirit, we are to look like God, act like God, think like God, obey like God. We are not God, but we have his Spirit within us. So we are to live more of the Spirit and not of the flesh. The Lord forgives. The Lord is merciful. We should forgive. We should be merciful. Going back and down into the reading, the person in their testimony said they almost got ran over when they were crossing the street. Somebody was on their phone, not paying attention. And it was easier, hard than live to cuss that person out, try to flick them off, stand in the street, just like, oh my God, did you not just see me? It was harder to not go that route. But this person said, you know what? Because of their ignorance and their unrepentance, it's hard to not feel humiliated and ashamed about what all much has happened. But because of the love of God, he said, I know I'm not alone. And I read this before over and over again. I've seen this before over and over again. It plays over in my mind over and over again to forgive my neighbor, to love them, to have mercy on them, to be merciful unto them. He said we must hear it over and over to remind ourselves constantly to keep you in our hearts and keep our hearts open. No matter what is going on, easier said than lived. When we come into, because the Lord didn't say we wouldn't, but if we ever come into a slight or a light affliction or a slight conflict, we have to, this is where we come into being slow to speak and quick to hear. And that can happen when you're driving. That can happen when you're walking. Just still do the best you can do to soften your heart, to not curse that person. Forgive them. We've all been on our phone, which we shouldn't. But, it's easier said than lived. We can do something. Then if somebody else do it to us, it's like, oh my God, like we have to be compassionate because we have done things also just to be merciful, just to say, you know what? They might be having a bad day. And it's not to excuse someone's behavior. It's just to be merciful. You know what? They might be having a bad day. That might have been an emergency call. He could be late for something. I forgive him. I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm not alone. The Lord is with me. And I'm about to get ready to cross the street. Alexus Love Beauties and Flawless Man. When you get time today, I encourage you to read Luke chapter 35 through 36. I love you. God bless you and have a fantastic Friday.